What's up, everyone? I'm Yasmin Woodland and welcome back to my channel. Sorry that I'm uploading this recap 2 days later. I tried to upload it the night it aired, but my files got messed up and so on and so forth. So I will be doing a recap on Teen Mom OG Season 8, Episode 2. So it starts off with Tyler and Kate, and Tyler and Kate are talking about the Amber Portwood situation. So Kate decides to give Macy a call because she was stating how Amber was going to court for the custody hearing to see if she can actually see baby James or not, and like what was going to go on with that. So she calls Macy and they all agree like, hey, yeah, we need to go support her. We can like take like a little day trip out there. And all of the girls, they meet up. So they all get together and they were stating how they just want to support Amber, and who knows, maybe MTV told the girls they actually maybe needed to do it. I don't really know if it was from a personal standpoint or not. It seemed genuine, but nonetheless, they all met up together and they were driving to actually go pick up Amber, and they were just discussing the situation. And I know Cheyenne said that Amber still deserves some sort of support, given that, you know, the media is, you know, spinning the narrative of her being like a crazy person and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard dealing with situations like this, especially when you are, you know, they're all friends. So I don't know how they could handle this situation, but in the episode, it seemed pretty good. They were there for her, so they all met up, and as you can see, they were all chit-chatting and talking here. And Amber in this scene was just saying how she's so excited and happy just to have them there, and that she just needs that support. You know, she just feels all alone, and she's so happy that she has them to lean on. So they all take off in the car. And Amber is just stating like, man, it's been really, really hard on me. My mental health is deteriorating, and it just seems like everything is just crashing down around me. My world is, you know, flipped upside down, and my baby boo and all this other stuff. And she states how sometimes she feels like she needs to just scream and just let it all out. She just wants to scream. So then out of nowhere, the girls just do like a little countdown, and then at the end of the countdown, they all just let out this huge scream. And they said that it felt so good just to let out some sort of steam and like let out their inner stressors. And it just seemed like they were just trying to uplift Amber's spirits. So they all just started screaming like maniacs, and I thought that was super funny to even watch, because I was just like, what the heck is going on? So the day of court comes, and you know, the camera catches all of them walking into court, and Cheyenne was there, Macy was there, Kate was there, you know, the MTV producers were there, Gary and Christina were there. Everyone was actually there to support Amber on this custody hearing. And before she actually went into the courtroom to hear what the judge had to say and like see like what the custody agreement was going to be, they all kind of stood outside and did like a little prayer, and I thought that was really nice. I mean, I know Amber did what she did, or allegedly, but I know everyone needs like a solid friend group, you know, so that was cool. And yes, Andrew Glennon was there. After the hearing was all done, I know that Amber and all the girls went back to the car, and she was stating how she's actually able to see the baby, and the judge actually was in her favor. And that's when the articles started coming out at the time, how she was actually allowed to see baby James, because, you know, the baby should not be allowed to see its mother. So she was stating how like she just felt like Andrew Glennon had no emotions, that he's just after, you know, all of her money. He wants everything. He wants the money, he wants the house, he wants the baby. And I know Macy was just like, yeah, like he's a narcissist, you know, because he just wasn't expressing any sort of emotions. He feels like he's entitled to money that he doesn't, you know, earn and everything like that. So they all went back, and I believe it was like a rental home or something like that, and they were just having like a powwow, just discussing things. And Amber was just confiding in the girls, saying how she feels like the media is portraying her to be a monster, portraying her to be a horrible person. And she said, I just feel like people around me are just judging me, and they don't know the full situation. And she just had another breakdown. Every episode she's been crying, and I know people have been saying she's faking it because there's never really any tears out of her eyes. I don't know the situation. I don't know if she's really emotional or not. I just know that the girls were there. They were doing their part to support her. And I know she did have another breakdown. And I know Gary and Christina also in this episode, they were just kind of talking amongst themselves like, yeah, I'm happy that, you know, she's able to have this support at this certain time. And I know Gary chimed in and he gave his thoughts on Andrew Glennon. And he stated how he feel like Andrew is a manipulative person behind the scenes. In other words, he feels like Andrew does things to actually provoke Amber, or he'll do things to intentionally anger her, upset her, and then press the record button so people can hear that side of her, when really he just manipulated the situation. So that is what Gary said. It panned over to Cheyenne, and it panned over to Corey and Miss Little Rider. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like, yes, Corey looks good, everyone. Yes, he's a beautiful man, I can say that. But this episode, he was definitely like, I just wasn't really feeling his vibe. So let me get to the point. He was stating to Cheyenne how he wanted to, have more rules in regards to Ryder. He was kind of saying how Cheyenne doesn't know how to parent Ryder in a sense of discipline. Like, when Ryder is with Cheyenne at her home, she can just run around and do whatever she wants. And then when Ryder is with him and Taylor, Ryder has more structure and things of that nature. So it pans over to him talking to Taylor about the situation, and he's just like, he's not angry in the scene. He just seems passionate. He's like talking like, stern, and he's saying like, we need to have more rules. And the look on his face was kind of crazy. I was just like, dang, calm down a little bit. It's okay. But he was really just trying to get his point across of how Ryder needs structure. She's young, because when she gets older, she can, act out and be crazy. And I don't want to belittle Cheyenne as a mother. I'm not trying to, say she's not good as a mom. I'm just saying that I don't want to be viewed as the stern parent, or I don't want to be viewed as the parent that has rules, but then, at Cheyenne's house, she's the fun parent. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, Corey, like, your reasoning for instilling discipline in your child is completely self-serving. Like, the only reason why you want Cheyenne to have more structure with Ryder is because you want to seem like, you're the fun parent and she's not. And, he wanted Ryder to, look at both of them as they're both like stern parents. And, when I'm with mom, I can get away with stuff. But dad, he's he's not fun and everything like that. And I'm like, why are you even thinking of it like that? Like, you shouldn't be trying to one up someone as a parent. Like, oh, I'm the fun parent and she's not. But anyways, it pans over to him actually confronting Cheyenne about this situation, and confronting her on like parenting and discipline and everything like that. And he insinuates that her focus is not on Ryder. He states like, hey, I think your focus is somewhere, but it's not on your daughter. And she was just like, wow, how dare you say that? You sound really stupid. Cheyenne like snapped on him, because in a nutshell, he was trying to state that her focus and the reason why she's not disciplining Ryder is because she's too focused on that, her boyfriend, and moving in and trying to have a family. And, I'm so happy that Cheyenne spoke up for herself, and she was just like, no, everything that I do is for Ryder. Every decision I make in my life is because of Ryder, and it's for Ryder. So how dare you, sit in my face and say, well, I feel like your focus is not really on your daughter. That was kind of disrespectful to me as a mother. I take very good care of my daughter. Where were you? There was instances where Ryder was sick in the hospital, and here you are partying overseas, with your girlfriend or wherever you're at some exotic place. And there's been several times to where he was not there for Ryder, So I just feel like this episode was weird. Again, it could be scripted. It could be something MTV tried to spin, but he just seemed like, I don't know, I just wasn't catching his vibe, like, seriously. It panned over to MacKenzie, and she was just stating how Gannon's birthday was coming around, and she was actually extremely nervous because, as we all know, at the time, they were actually going through like a separation. So her family, rest in peace to her mother, her family, her mom, and everyone was talking to her like, how are you going to manage this? Is he going to come to the birthday party for his own son? Do you know, like, what's the status? Is he living with you? Is he not? She was like, no, he's not living with me, and hopefully he comes. It pans over, and it's the day of Gannon's birthday, and they were all sitting in the living room, and she was actually reading off a card to him and stating how it was from a family member. Happy birthday, have a good, beautiful day. And there was like money inside the card, and he was really excited. He was actually opening up like different gifts, and Josh did show up. He did show up to support his son, and he did like give his son a hug and say happy birthday and stuff like that. However, it was just no communication whatsoever between Josh and MacKenzie. They just like ignored each other. And then Josh leaves. He just left. He left. He did not want anything to really do with Gannon like that. It was kind of like, I just came to your party just because it's something I'm supposed to do as a dad. He didn't really seem invested, if that makes sense. But the party must go on, right? So MacKenzie, being the beautiful person she is, she remained strong, and she said, you know, happy birthday. Gannon blew out the candles and they all sung happy birthday to him, and that it was beautiful. She seemed really happy, you know, despite going through such a horrible time with her husband, and then she was losing her mom at the time as well. And she remained strong at the party, and she didn't let the fact that Josh left early really affect her, because she didn't want that to reflect on Gannon. So I thought that was really mature. So in this next scene with MacKenzie, she's talking to, I believe that's her family member or her sister. Excuse me if I just can't remember right now, but she was just saying how she really wants the divorce. Like, she knows for a fact she wants the divorce with Josh, and she feels like the only reason why she got married to Josh in the first place is because she got pregnant and she had Gannon. And she said, you know, when I was walking down the aisle, I really did not feel like he loved me. You know, I didn't feel that love. I didn't feel it then, and I really made a huge mistake, you know, marrying Josh. Now, she also states how she literally hates the fact and the thought that she even gave her life to this man that didn't even love her, that didn't want anything to do with her, that was like cheating all throughout the marriage, all throughout the relationship, and that she just definitely wants the divorce for herself, and she wants to love herself and focus on her kids. And I commend MacKenzie to make that decision, because it's really hard, especially when there's kids involved. And she kind of had like a little breakdown at the end, crying, but nonetheless, I know she's a strong person. It pans over to MacKenzie, Ryan, and Bentley. And oh my gosh, everyone, I could barely get through this scene with them. So Ryan was supposed to be taking Bentley on a little golfing like day activity, and everyone was there. Not Macy, because she went out of town and everything like that, but Bentley was there and his grandparents or whatever. So they're playing golf, right? And this was so cringy. So this is what happened. Bentley's playing golf. I guess he just doesn't understand the rules maybe of golf, because he's still learning. So instead of Ryan like having a more fatherly approach to the rules, he seemed a little juvenile. He seemed extremely competitive. And it just kind of, it was odd to me how he was like being, I know you can be competitive but still fatherly. And throughout the entire midst of Bentley playing golf, not only was he kind of poking fun at him like numerous times over and over, but I could tell that Ryan really just wanted to win. He just wanted to win. Like, yeah, you're my son, I love you, whatever, but I still want to be the best and I still want to win. And it's like, geez, dude, calm down. Like, that's your kid, you know? So Bentley seemed really agitated, and at one point he tried to speak up like, hey, I thought the rules were this, or I thought the rules were that. And Ryan was just like, no, that's not the rules. That's not how you do it. Are you getting it? Like, are you understanding? But Bentley just seemed like a little on edge. Like, he seemed uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. And he's getting older, and at the end it showed MacKenzie and Ryan, they were like going on like lunch or something after the golfing activity. And he was just kind of rubbing it in like her face, like, yeah, I won. You know, he was just really pissed off that I whooped his butt in golf, and he just wasn't getting the rules. And, you know, he was just so agitated. He was so mad. He was so frustrated, and he was just laughing about it. Like, I don't know, he was being really goofy. And I'm like, dude, Ryan, like, do you not understand how to be like more of a role model or more of like a father figure? Like, his approach was just not, I don't know, I just didn't agree with his approach. He was making fun of Bentley the entire time. Like, he just came off condescending, and I didn't really like that. So it pans over to the producers, and they're actually talking to Andrew Glennon over the phone, and they asked Andrew like, hey, is there a way we can like come by and talk to you about this Amber situation, since I know that you're not filming now? We need to talk about filming. We need to talk about schedules. What's going on? How are you? What's a follow-up? So they go and take a visit with him. Mind you, He's living in Amber's house. Yes, he is living in Amber's house. I just gotta, I gotta put that out there. Amber's house. He's living in Amber's house with the baby. And he's talking, and instead of saying like, my main concern is the baby or it's James or whatever, this guy states that he said, you know what? Y'all should be paying me. I should be getting paid what these other teen moms are being paid if you want me to film this show, given all the BS that I've been through. Like, are you serious, Andrew? Like, I knew it. I knew it. Like, you mean to tell me the main thing on your mind is trying to get money and trying to, milk everything? And then also the show stated that he was actually not filming and he did not want to tell his side of the story, because I'm guessing he was demanding that MTV raises his pay to all the other teen moms because of all the stuff he'd been through. And it just seems like, I don't know, he seems money hungry. It's something weird with that. So it pans over to Miss Catelynn, and she's speaking about her medication management, how her anxiety has been, and she went to a doctor's appointment to talk to her doctor. Like, it's pretty much a follow-up just to see how she's doing. And the doctor is just saying like, well, how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Like, how's everything going? How's your marriage? How's your kids? And Kate is like, everything is cool. Everything seems to be, coming back to normal. Everything to me is a lot clearer now, because as we know, she's been struggling with depression and stuff. Now, her doctor asked her, like, is there any signs of postpartum? Because as we all know, she just had Veda a few months ago. And she's just like, no, I feel great. I feel amazing. I feel great. And you can look in her eyes. I'm like, is she okay? Like, she seems like really, really happy. And she seems like over the moon, right? So she actually opens up and states that she went to like another doctor, and that doctor actually like did some sort of genetic testing to see what medication is better for her. And she states that she's on a medication that's a lot better for her, and it makes her like overly happy. And the doctor's like, well, and in the future, if you ever want to get off this medication, it can be difficult. The type of, I'm assuming it's some sort of benzo, because the doctor's like, you can have body jerks and stuff like that when you're trying to, taper off this medication. So are you trying to do that now or no? And Catelynn is like, well, I feel great now. No, I don't want to get off the medicine. Maybe eventually, maybe a few years down the road along with therapy. But right now I feel great. I feel happy. And like, look into her eyes, everyone. She is, I don't know, whatever medication she's on, I guess she's feeling great. And I'm not trying to knock her. If you need medication to manage yourself, that's cool. But I guess like the doctor was saying, just be mindful of that, because when you are trying to come off of it, I'm assuming it's a benzo, because benzos are the only medications that I know can kind of have negative or super overly negative like withdrawals, because the doctor was mentioning like, hey, whenever you want to come off of it, you can have like electric shocks in your body and stuff. So that is how the episode ended. Thank you all for tuning in. Please let me know your thoughts on this entire episode below. Let me know if you enjoyed these recaps. If you are new to my channel, please let me know that you're new in my comment section, because I love to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you all for getting me to over 9,000 subscribers. A giveaway is coming soon. Thank you all so much for watching my content. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell beside it so you'll get notifications on whenever I do upload a video. Thank you all so much, and until next time, see ya.